You know, in case I haven't said it before, I like pandemic movies. 28 Days Later, I Am Legend, Last Man on Earth. I really dig movies like that because even though it hasn't happened to that scale, you know it only takes one mutated virus to bring things to that level. We go around all day long touching doorknobs, handling paper money, which is just a cesspool of bacteria. People don't wash their hands all the time. They touch things that we touch. We eat in restaurants where utensils are shared, even though I'm going to say 9 times out of 10 you're getting a utensil that's been cleaned properly. But what about that one time that it wasn't cleaned properly? What about that one time there was just enough bacteria on there to get something going? Things like that unnerve me, and when I think of all the mutations that happen with viruses, like the flu virus, it was just the flu virus, it's the flu. You feel achy, no problem. Then it started developing into other stuff that had no way of knocking it out, and people were dying from it. I have been to about 6 or 7 different flu epidemics. I have not yet received a flu shot. I kind of don't plan on getting the flu shot because my own theory, I have one theory that I don't want to share right now. My other theory is that when you get a flu shot for the flu, then that flu finds other ways to defeat that, and that's where the mutations come in. Anyways, I said all that because the movie I just watched is Carriers, and it is by far one of the coolest pandemic movies ever. You have this group here. They're heading to the ocean. There's a place that the 2 guys used to go to as brothers, and they want to go to that place again. Mostly because they figure it's safe, it's secluded. They'll scavenge for what they need. They have 2 female companions with them. One of them is just a friend. The other one is dating the older brother. And through it all, they have these rules that the older brother made, which is you don't get in contact with anyone who's sick. Their very breath is contagious. Just breathing the air they breathe out can get you sick. So you have no contact with them. You completely clean everything. You do all these little rules that they have, all these checks and balances they have to stay alive. And throughout the course of the movie, they go to different places. They meet a father and daughter, and the daughter is sick, but they need his car. And instead of opting to just leave him abandoned with his daughter, they take him with, but they make him stay in the back of the car, and they seal it off with plastic. They wash everything down with bleach. They go to a CDC center. Center for Disease Control, for all of those who don't know what CDC is, because there's supposed to be a serum that they're working on for that disease. Well, they get there and they find the school is full of no one but children and 1 doctor. The town is dead, literally dead, not just the people dead, but the town. There's no power, there's no fuel, there's no nothing. It's all been drained dry. And it's kind of an unnerving scene if you're sensitive to certain things like that. But the doctor tells the children, these nice people are here to take you outside to your parents who are waiting for you, which is totally untrue. There's no parents out there. He said, all you have to do is take your medicine and everything will be okay. Well, you know what the doctor's doing. He's giving them a merciful end to their suffering. There is one scene in there, one of the crew has to be left out. They have to be abandoned because they get infected. And I have to tell you that watching that scene, it gives you that sinking feeling. Like, imagine being in that position. It's 4 of you against the entire world, and now you are by yourself because you're diseased. You have a sickness. you're going to contaminate everybody else. And you're left wherever, on the side of the road, in a place that has nothing, told that there's a town down the road, get to it before you're too weak to travel. Decisions are made, harsh decisions, and there's no people who get sick and chase you down the street or come back to life or eat flesh or any of that, which, don't get me wrong, that stuff is cool. But this is more on a realistic level. It can happen. There's people dying everywhere in this movie, and of course in the world too. Disease is a very real thing. Who knows when we're going to hit that strain that just wipes everybody out and brings people to that point where they have to make decisions, life or death decisions like that. So, for my money, if you're into the pandemic movies or kind of like apocalyptic movies, I guess, Carriers, you cannot go wrong with this movie. It's an excellent movie. I think it was done very well. The acting is top notch. The effects are good. The makeup effects. The whole thing is just really cool. And for that, I give this movie today's first full 5. A solid 5 from me for this movie. Top recommendation. If you haven't seen it, check it out. If you've seen it and don't own it, check it out. And it's also on Netflix Instant Queue, or My Instant Queue, sorry. But it's on Netflix Instant. So if you want to do the instant streaming thing and you don't want to buy the movie or wait for it to come to the mail or run out and rent it, instant streaming. What a world we live in. Technology, man. So cool. I finally got some lunch and I'm feeling a lot better now. I was getting kind of sluggish there, man. My mind was bleh. But I'm good now. And I'm on to the next one. On to the next one. On to the next one. Alright. I'll see y'all in a little bit.